How's it going, everybody? It's Kirk here again. Happy Sabbath day to whoever keeps the Sabbath on Saturday. Good day to everybody else who is just scrolling around, trying to find content on YouTube or out there enjoying their day, taking a walk, whatever the case may be. I'm going to make just a quick video today. My birthday's coming up. I got May 22nd is my birthday. I've been reflecting on quite a few things. I took off a week last week to try and get some things back together. But I guess today we're going to talk about what happens if your calm is interrupted. So, I was at work a couple days back in the dish room. The other dishwasher there kind of seemed to be in a different kind of energy as me. Because for a while I've been out mostly cooking. I haven't been in the dish room as much anymore. Got moved out and was able to do like walk orders, anything else like that, help prep, stuff like that. But a couple things happened at work. Some people quit, got fired, all that. So I got moved back in there for now. And when I was talking to him one day, he just automatically waited for someone to come in, this other guy. And he says, "Oh, we need to get this guy." He's talking about me. "We need to get this guy some P-U-S-S-Y. I can't say because I don't know if it'll mess the algorithms up. But it kind of got me upset because I'm not really looking for that right now. I mean, of course there's parts of us that always do, but I don't need that right now. It's not my goal in life. It's not my purpose. So I asked him, I was like, why did you effing say that? And what made you come up with that idea? And he just goes on this long rant about who am I and why I'm not looking, and have I gone back to school, and how he doesn't trust anybody, he doesn't have tattoos, and doesn't have a lot of problems with the law, and goes on this whole spiel about wisdom and knowledge with me. And I kind of try and tell him about disciplines and spiritual things, and we got into just this long topic about everything. He just goes from one thing to another to another. There's no structure to it. And he told me, and he acted like he was trying to help me. But there was a part of me that kind of felt rubbed away, like he wasn't trying to help me. Either was sent by some woman to talk to me about it, which I kind of know who that would be. Or something about me rubs him the wrong way, and he can't tell me what it is or why. So instead he just lashes out and brings up stuff to get me unsettled. Because that unsettles me right now. I can't ever figure out about my situation of why I don't have a girlfriend, or why I can't keep a connection with a woman. A lot of that stuff already goes through my mind. So even if he was trying to help, inadvertently, it did some damage to my mindset, because I've been walking around for several days, calm, at peace, ready to accept good things that come my way, be able to stand my ground against anything bad. And one little thing there just took me for a ride for a couple days. Anyway, when he was talking to me about wisdom, I didn't really engage too much on any of this conversation. I kind of just let him think what he thought, what he wanted to think. Made him feel like he's right. I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't get too far into it. And maybe that's a good thing. So several years ago, someone did that to me. I'd stay mad and I'd get into trouble with some of the things I said. I was mad when I was talking to him, and I still felt angry. And I'm like, "What do you think I'm doing?" I was like, "If I could get someone, don't you think I would?" And I told him I have no choice and all this other stuff. But then I kind of backed off. I was like, "Kirk, you're getting kind of fired up. Just leave it alone. Back away." And I just don't think people fully understand that there's different forms of wisdom, different forms of knowledge. What he was talking to me about is carnal wisdom, carnal knowledge. You only build that through mistakes, trial and error, building what you know, learning from what you don't, in a physical sense. You go out, you talk to a girl, you don't get her. Next time you figure out what you did wrong, you get her. You go out to the bar, you have a bunch of drinks, you get into a fight with someone, you go to jail. You get bailed out of jail or you don't. You sit in there, you come back out. You go do the same thing the next week, you learn your lesson, you don't do it again. But that carnal knowledge, that carnal wisdom is based off of emotion, your physical body, what you want in the moment, your lust, your greed, your ideology, and your psychology. It's just sitting there waiting for you to put yourself through the fire. So most of that stuff, you do it to yourself. But there's other kinds of wisdom and knowledge. There's psychological gaps between that knowledge and emotional knowledge and wisdom. And then there's a gap between that and spiritual knowledge and wisdom. And a lot of the other two, you have to build from within. Because that first knowledge you're getting from what's around you. What is around all of us is chaos, lies, selfishness, things that just don't bring real fruits into our lives. It just brings good feelings, good waves for the moment. And if you continually seek that, you're not going to be able to find emotional knowledge and wisdom or spiritual knowledge and wisdom. It's going to be just sitting there. And it's going to be attractive to some and not to others. But if you're not in that part of your life and you're trying to do one of the other two, you have to stay disciplined. And your experience is different than theirs. I have a lot of things that it's hard to express in that first realm. I've been shown a lot of things, growing in a lot of ways, learning from my own past traumas, but I don't do it in the carnal knowledge kind of way. I do it in the self-reflection, trying to understand on a higher level why this happened, keeping disciplines, trying to grow as a human being, knowing who I am, not in that carnal state, but who am I am in the other two. Who I am in soul and spirit, not as much in my body. And then I almost had a relapse in my SR journey because of that. And I have to take a step back and realize I still have work to do, so I don't get worked up and angry about people talking about that with me, or just anything else that's just coming around right now. Because right now there's a leveling up for some, there's a growth process for others, there's a going back to the drawing board. We're all in different phases right now. We're all in different seasons, different trials and tribulations, different successes and failures. And I just encourage everybody to not let anyone interrupt your path or try and define it with theirs, because they will. They'll try and define everything that you do based off of theirs. They're throwing their insecurities onto you. They're throwing their predetermined positions onto you. And I've done that before too on accident. So when we talk with each other, we have to learn from one another. We have to accept what the other one says. But we're not always on the same path. And it's all part of growing, part of being human beings. And then we realize we're not permanently in one area. We're not permanently in a body. We're not permanently stuck in a trance. There's stages. There's depth. There's different things to learn in different times. Where I am is different from where you are. Where you are is different from where someone else is. And I used to talk about on here, I haven't gone to church in a long time. I started going a few months ago because I realized I need fellowship. You can be alone for so long. You can go through all these different things on your own, and it helps you to grow. But after so long, it starts to mess with your head. Wickedness gets in there and messes with you. Your own self plays along with what you think you know, what you do know, and what you don't know. You need fellowship for accountability purposes. You need fellowship for friendship purposes. You need fellowship for becoming whole in who you're supposed to be. Because we can become individually whole. We can become individually who we're supposed to be. But we're supposed to be connected. A body together. We'll find our like-minded people in public, at work, at church, social gatherings. We don't always have to agree 100% with them either. But I noticed when I started going to church, there was one person I talked to in particular that understood everything I was talking about that I can't talk about with everybody else. Different phrases, words, ideas I brought up, and he's like, yeah, this is that. And I'm like, all right, there's the person. I hang out with him every week. We discuss things. We have basically anything goes in the conversation. We have a good walk around the park, sit down and eat, discuss each other's problems and solutions to life. Talk about where we are in the moment. Talk about our week. Those are the people that you need around you. And then when that opposition comes, where someone just randomly, you don't know them, you don't know where they're at, and they don't know where you're at, they just start projecting things on you. We have to learn how to put up with that, set our boundaries, but still be open, still be willing to chat and go through that. Because obviously there's something that we have to learn from it. There's something we didn't do correctly, or it's just opposition for opposition's sake. Sometimes that comes into your path and there's no reason for it. But then there's other times where when we talk to people, we find like-minded individuals. Women are the same way. They go out and they're trying to find connection. Someone who believes the same way she does. And I encourage everybody to go out and talk to people where you're working, where your place of worship would be, in your neighborhood. If you're introverted like me, it can be a little rough. But sometimes you find someone to talk to who is extroverted and has the same mindset as you. You'll balance each other. You'll start to uncover things better than you would have before on your own. And then when you have opposition, it's best not to argue. You discuss. And when you start getting angry, pull back. Be in silence. Sit there. Be still. Let the emotions subside. And when you talk to him again, bring it up and say, I don't like this. This is my boundary. I'm not going to talk about this, and tell him the reason. And see Maybe you are supposed to be in their path too, and they're supposed to be in yours. But we can't be hateful with one another. We can't hold grudges. We can't pretend that everything's okay on the surface and inside be... And we can't be at peace inside, but outwardly we're destroying each other with our words or wishing ill will on somebody. It never solves anything. But awareness within ourselves, awareness of what's going on around us, spiritual awareness, physical awareness, and emotional awareness is where we become who we need to be. The mindset that we have to do everything a certain way or on our own becomes a form of spiritual pride. Looking everywhere for everything and not looking within ourselves is going to give us chaos, is going to give us indoctrination. But then again, if we are inside constantly ourselves, we can't experience what's out there. The experience out there benefits you a little bit. So it's all about balance. And I can't tell you how to do it. You can't tell me how to do it. But that's why we work together. That's why we become... That's why we become strong as a community, and we also become independent and fulfilled our destiny individually. So is this walk meant to be alone? No. You're supposed to have people around you, like I said, for accountability, friendship, loving kindness, being able to bat intellectually ideas off each other, spiritually ideas off each other. So no, we're not supposed to be alone. But the walk itself is very lonely. There's a lot of people who will not understand you. There's a lot of places we're not supposed to go when we level up. A lot of places where we look back in our past and we say, why did we go down there? We can never go back again. And we realize that though we're not alone, each of us has a divine destiny that we can only fulfill alone. So we have to balance that, looking within as opposed to looking outward. Looking outward, trying to find answers, but realizing you can only find so much out there. What we need is really within ourselves. What we seek is where we're at in our mind right now. Are you seeking physical things, material things? You're going to be stuck looking around quite a bit. Are you seeking spiritual things? Knowledge and wisdom, love, peace, understanding, discipline, self-control, love, obedience to the higher power, to God, to Yahuwah, to the source, to whoever you call God. God has many names. There's some incorrect ones, but Abba, I am, but I am. That's a fire. And he says, when you read scriptures, seek first the kingdom of heaven, and all other things will be added unto you. All these things will be added unto you. And what is the kingdom? The kingdom is within us. The kingdom of heaven one day will be gone. The kingdoms on earth one day will be destroyed. God stopped honoring temples built by hands because they always became filthy and detestable and abominable, either through immorality or what other ways people would use the sanctuary that wasn't supposed to be. Selling goods, because Yahusha, Jesus, whoever you call him, when he was alive, he flipped the tables. Why? Because they were using it for recreational purposes, to sell goods, and they were probably selling their ideas and idols and things like that. When you weren't supposed to be selling that, you were supposed to be selling back and forth wisdom and knowledge. You're supposed to be selling destiny together, sowing seeds, good deeds. And instead it became a place of external validation, selling of goods, physical goods only. So the temple afterward was within man. The Spirit, the Holy Spirit, whichever you call him, his force, his life, is given to everybody. The breath of life is given to all of us. And then on a deeper level, there's an aching inside of all of us to find something else. That's Holy Spirit calling you. Find your purpose, find who you are. Know who you are within. And that's all I have for us today. I thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.